Okay, so last night I gave Stella melatonin and I got a good night's sleep. So I feel pretty good. Except for I'm sore as can be because I went out and moved all that wood. So that was hard freaking work. I can't believe how many things I have come out here and, being on my own and living, rural, which we're about to not be rural anymore. Oh, I'll go off on that in a second. But, all of the challenges and the hard work that you have to do to, maintain out here. So, and this isn't even, I mean, we're still in a neighborhood. Like, there's people who live way more harder than this, but I'm telling you, it's a big difference from living in the city, and having DoorDash bring you something than go out and live where you're having to, there's challenges and having to get firewood and, firewood is heavy. It's heavy to ship. My arms are all bruised and cut up, and it's a hard work. My body is sore. So, and I can't wait for my mattress pad to get here. But, oh, and this morning, I finished watching that series I've been watching. I'm Dying Up Here. Oh my God. It's so disappointing because it ends like it says season finale. It doesn't say series finale. So it ends abruptly like you want to see what's going to happen. I hate it when they do that. Freaking, I've had so many shows that I just loved, and you're watching it and you're just really into the characters. And then, I don't know, the masters of our entertainment decide like, no, we're done. And then just take it away. They don't give a shit what we think. And I know I'm not the only one because I've seen other shows end and they'll raise a ruckus. I've seen shows that I wasn't watching that other people were really into, and then it will end. And they'll like do, I don't even know, go on social media to raise holy hell. And I think they've actually got a show brought back before that the networks were trying to drop, and the people were like, fuck off. Because you just get to where you feel like you really are invested in the characters, like you kind of feel like you know them. And it was, and one of the things that I find so cool about this show too, because it's something that I talk about, like with the Jubilee, there is so many things on that show. I totally recommend it, even though it's like an abrupt stop. It shows so many things that are so true. Like it had things about what happened to manufacturing here with the car industry. It had a lot of stuff about racism. It was very accurate to the times. I mean, every single person was smoking a cigarette nonstop. So that was very 70s, and always had a drink in their hand. So there was a lot of stuff that was just so, in the clothes, I just loved it. But the thing that reminded me about the Jubilee, because, this is a bunch of different kids and, people, some of the people were older and stuff, but, they had gone through a lot or whatever, were meeting or, following their dreams. But they're kind of going from poverty. I mean, there's not like any millionaires going up there going, hey, I want to be a comedian now, or at least they didn't show them. I don't know. Maybe they could have some down there, but I mean, do they really have anything to talk about, a millionaire? Oh, I mean, is it anything we're going to understand? Is there anything that we're going to be like, not likely. They have different problems, right? So when, regular people go up and talk about, problems, and they give you a funny perspective, it's funny. So the thing that I was getting, so you get all of these kids or different people, and they're struggling, trying to make it, just not knowing where their next meal's coming from or whatever. And but they grow a close bond, they all become united. And but when somebody starts making money or start making it, and they start doing well, it's like they don't know what to do with their success. They don't know what to do with their money. And then right away, it's like facing like, what happens when it ends? What happens when I end? And then you have some older ones that are facing that. So it's got a lot of really good things in the show. But with the Jubilee, this is what I was talking about. They can't just turn around and hand a bunch of people $1 million that don't think they deserve it. Because then, yeah, the one guy, He was so funny because he was constantly wearing some different fur coat, which fur was really popular back then. And he would always had some, really pimped out coat on all the time. He was just wearing a different one. And very wasteful. Oh my gosh, at one point he even burned money. You got people around you don't have any, but you're just gonna burn some to make a point. So the that is what, the Jubilee, like why we have to have this stuff happen before the Jubilee is because people have to learn their value. They have to reprioritize what's important. They have to understand what they deserve, And that is what all of this stuff that we're going through is all about. It's all the challenges are so that you can see what you're made of, so that you can expand yourself, so that you are ready for if somebody hands you $1 million, you're ready to be free from this treachery, and I thought that this show did so well as showing, if you don't have high self-esteem and you don't feel good about yourself and why would you think you're deserving of something? And then plus, the like one guy playing a character, then he started losing his own identity. Like, who am I? Am I this? All anybody wants is this, but I'm this. So do anybody even want me? Like they have a really, really a lot of good things that they show in the show. So many. And I was making like TikToks and stuff of some of the things. And oh man, there was one. Oh my gosh. People were so triggered. I thought it was super cool because, I'm a mom and I know the attitude towards moms and, each child has their different idea of a good mom. And so it's super easy. You can't be all things to all people. You can only be true to yourself. And most of us are trying to please everybody else. And it just ends up failing. You feel like a failure all the time. You just feel defeated and beat down. And, when you have a bunch of kids, how are you going to be the perfect mom to each of them? They all have a different idea of what they need. So, you're going to fail. You're going to fail people all the time. But that is part of their lessons. That's part of their own journey to figure out their self-worth. Even if your mom isn't perfect, what is your value? Why would your value be intertwined like that? It's all for us to develop ourselves. So there's no harm, no foul. We got to quit thinking that everything is out to get us. And so I had shared this one, and it was a mom and daughter having all of these problems. And the mom, starts yelling at the daughter about, how sorry she is. And, she says, I'm sorry for the idea that they gave you of what a mom is. And it's so true. Every fucking thing in our lives, it is how they tell us that makes us feel a certain way. And, but oh my gosh. So there was that when I put it on there, it was going crazy for a while. I think anytime, like on YouTube or TikTok, any of this stuff, if I start getting, Twitter took me straight ass down. Like I start getting likes or anything, there's boom, gone. And then, they'll let you back. Okay, you can come back for a minute. As soon as the same, gone. So TikTok and YouTube so far, what I've noticed is I just hit like a wall. Like they'll let it go up and it's just like it hits a wall. You can go in and see like they all hit the same number and stop. And one actually made it to like 4.6 million, not million, crazy, 4.6 thousand likes. No, was it views? Yeah. I don't think I've got 4,000 likes on anything. What am I, crazy? It's all this rating system that they have going, Some people get really caught up in it too. Like, I remember on Facebook when, you could be around people and, they were just consumed with taking pictures of themselves and posting it so someone would tell them they look pretty today. But anyways, so on the TikTok thing, when it was all these girls, and there was some moms and stuff coming on and, liking it and making comments. But then there started being some kids, some younger people coming on making comments. Woo, very, 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 very different perspective. The two different generations. And the funny thing is one of the generations has no perspective because they've never been a parent. So they're very judgy. They're very, oh, well, this, and this, you should do this, and you should be this way, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they've got it all figured out. Well, guess what, girl? I was once you. I once thought I had it all figured out. I was judgy as fuck to my mom. Then life showed me a different side. So, yeah, we got to get out of our judgment of each other, and we've got to understand we're all just here learning. This is what it's about. We're here to learn and to understand so that we can grow. And what was the other thing there was something else about that I was going to say. One thing too is I saw somebody had, people are constantly sending me things, and somebody sent me this, a TikTok of this guy, and he's some artist, very handsome guy, and the one they sent me was a glitch one. And so I went in and watched some more of his to see, like, is he talking about like glitchy stuff all the time? Is he talking about the weirdness? But he did some. I mean, I didn't watch that many. I only watched a couple of his. But the glitch one was pretty cool because he was showing like the sun is supposed to be coming in right now. It's not coming in. There's no sun coming in, which I've said that before. And the weird thing is he had a picture on his wall with a glass. It wasn't like a painting. It had a glass on the front so you could see a reflection. And in the reflection, it looked like his ceiling fan was lit up in the picture. So you looked at the picture on the wall, you could see the ceiling fan. Then he turned and looked at the ceiling fan. It wasn't on. And there's no light anywhere. So how was the ceiling fan? And you could see, I mean, it was bright. Like, it totally looked like a ceiling fan or bright lights. 3 bright lights in the thing, just as they were on the thing, because I have a ceiling fan like that too with the 3 lights. Mine's way high though because I have a really high ceiling. But, so it's on the picture with the lights on. It's not on. There's no lights coming in. It was so trippy. It was really cool. But, I mean, everything is illusion. That's the thing that I don't get is like how much of this is like, how do they change stuff? Like, it's just trippy. Is it what we see? Is it what we think we see? Are we in, I mean, there's some sense of material around us, So how does that change? And we can just change it with our minds, apparently, but we haven't learned all that. But I don't understand how some of the stuff changes when we're not changing it. Like, he wasn't sitting there going, oh, I want to see the lights on in there, So how is some of this stuff just changing? Like, I'm not going, oh, I think I want the sun to come up. Oh, here it is coming this morning. It comes up at just weird random times now. Like, it had the big jump where it was off most of the day. And then all of a sudden it jumped and was just on extended version. And now it just comes in like, it doesn't move right. It comes in that I had my set things like when I was out on the deck, like I would know the pattern of what time it was going to be in what place because it would be above the trees. In the tree line, you could tell it was kind of like a sundial or something. And the same in my window. I can look out and see the trees, and I know what time the sun is supposed to be where it's supposed to be. And it's not keeping up with its job. So, I don't know. Something's weird going on. But, so the video that I really liked of his was he was talking to somebody. He was just making a comment, and he said, I saw somebody this morning talking about, somebody abusing them, being a bully to them, saying mean stuff. And I'm telling you, you see it all the time on TikTok. People are constantly talking about, being bullied or being put down or attention deficit, depression, anxiety. They're always talking about these issues that are keeping them struggling, I would say. It's, I think you get what I say. You can come up with whatever word. I mean, struggling is not the perfect word. But, I mean, what words do we have that are? So his thing was also about words. And he said, what I've found is that when somebody says something to me, they could say whatever, but it's just words. I give those words meaning. It's me that gives the words meaning. It's me that starts beating myself down over those words. They're just giving me words. I do the rest. And that is so true. That is giving away your power. Somebody gives you some words. Who cares what their words are? Who cares what their opinion is of you? It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is your opinion of yourself. But see, we keep on looking outside of ourselves for someone to make us feel good. And then the words are powerful. They hurt us. And we've already got all the meaning inside of our head. We've given them value. That's how they make all these trigger words at work and stuff. It is all designed. It was the reason why we went to school. And it wasn't to give us skills. So he made such a good point about that. And it is, it's absolutely true. And I saw another TikTok yesterday too, where the girl made such a good point. And she said this stuff so well. She talked different than me, but she was saying it was just different. She was just telling people about, that this is what was she calling it? Like a paradigm or just a thing. It's just words. But the world that we live in and the awakening, is being able to identify this world so that you can pull free from this world. And it's up to each of us to pull free. So she was basically saying it, but she was saying it, I don't know, maybe she wrote it out a lot and, she memorized it. Maybe it was on something above her, but she said it really, really well. She didn't mess up. She had all her words. I don't do that. So, and she, bottled it up in like a little 2-minute thing. And I sent it to a bunch of people, but I had, people like, I don't understand. What is she talking about? So, it's, you can't see it until you see it. Once you see it, then you know. And, things have to be so outrageous. I mean, I can't believe after all the bullying that went on over these, and still now people are going to lose their minds over the stuff going on in another country that we have no idea. We know our news lies. Yeah, we're going to believe this bullshit. And, which, by the way, I did go on this morning and look and across the news thing on YouTube, where the headlines going across, not a goddamn thing about it. Yeah, they're not talking about it. Wonder why. Wonder if it's because somebody said you're fake news and we're going to sue your ass. They're going after them. We are in the, the intense part of this battle between good and evil. And there's no doubt about that. And the good is winning. The light will shine and the dark will disappear. And so the being nothing on there, and we have more though. And I don't know, because this is stuff where, people send me stuff. And so Coke and Netflix and, all these corporate owned businesses, which all of them are owned by the same people. So all the corporations, that's why everything in our life is about to go upside down, because all of the corporations that run our world are so evil and so intertwined with each other. And they are all going down. They're exposing themselves right and left, showing that they're not going to support the people. If you have a crazy leader like we do, and then you're going against the people, like, even though they don't have a crazy leader, they have a leader who's actually trying to save their fucking asses from the bad people. And, the bad people are coming at them, trying to kill them. I mean, it was kind of like Germany 1940, where, these people had decided they were going to kill off a certain group. So, and then, the guy who starts with a P started going, no, when he's going to the labs, blowing them up, he's blowing up their offices and stuff. He's not going into neighborhoods, and that's the bad people. The bad people are doing bad things. But they have people in the upside down who don't know. But it's so shocking how these people will just continue and nothing inside of them tells them to stop, like this bullying and stuff like that. It's so crazy. I don't know. I mean, I know some big thing's going to happen. I know it's all going to end. I mean, it's just hard to imagine, like, when you've had this much stuff be shown to you and you don't see it, like, what's it take? So it is curious, like, what does it take? Like, what is going to happen? How big is it going to be? Because, yeah, it seems really hard to shake these people loose. I mean, I've had kids and siblings that had a hard time waking up in the morning, and it's a big chore. You have to keep going in and trying to wake them and trying to wake them. And, that's what we have going here. Just people are just so trapped in their conscious, they're so trapped in their subconscious that they can't let their conscious even come out. So, they're jailed in their own brain. So, I don't know. It's going to keep going for a while. I don't think for a long while. I mean, but it's, every time you think like something's going to happen to really speed up the pace, I mean, it speeds up, but it's not like, it's not going fast enough. Like, I'm ready for shit to really just like go so we can move into the new part. I also saw, I think Britney Spears now, she's coming out and she's going after him now. She's like, bullshit. And I think there's going to be a lot more, people that are going to do that, a lot more, because, the entertainment field fucked over a lot of people. I mean, they were, trying to work for, they thought they were trying to work for business, and they were trying to work for, Nazi-run government system. It was run by evil. So, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, who are going to be coming out and, joining ranks. I keep seeing that Josiah Rises, he's always talking the Hollywood goss, I guess, and he keeps showing different things. He does this stuff on Twitter, so the arguments and stuff happening, like, like a woke Hollywood person and somebody who has like some kind of, what is that called? Well, rational thinking, compared to woke thinking, like there's two totally different things. And so there'll be people who will start fighting on Twitter. So he shows that kind of stuff. So there's a lot. I haven't seen his stuff. I have been saving him to watch later because I've been so intrigued by the show I was watching. I'm dying up here. But I keep seeing the headlines, and there's a lot of, and that's exposing everything. Everybody's exposing themselves. Like Coca-Cola is exposing itself. Netflix is exposing itself. Everything is exposing itself because it's, it's cosmic. It's going to happen. When you see it is up to you. I mean, it's exposing itself, and some people aren't looking, I just got this image of that. It was funny too, because back in the 70s, it was kind of a thing. Maybe it was because there wasn't so much porn and internet and stuff, but, there were flashers. There were flashers all the time. I swear to God, as a kid, you got flashed a lot. Like, guys would pull up in their car and ask you to come over and give them directions. You go over and they got their dick out, and there'd be people in coats opening their coats. Like, oh, I had a neighbor, this guy, and I probably talked about before, and he had a swimming pool. Like, our neighborhood was just ramshackle, friggin' so many pervs. As a kid, you know where the pervs are. There were so many freaking pervs in our neighborhood. But this guy, he had a pool, and he had little boys, and he liked little boys because he always wanted the little boys to come over and go swimming, and his swimming suit would always come off somehow, and he'd need somebody to go down and get it in the pool for him. And I'd only hear about it because I was a girl. I didn't go swimming at his house. And, I got my share of pervs. That's where the giant lurch guy grabbed me and attacked me and took me in his house with that other girl, carrying each of us. Well, he carried me like some sort of, I've talked about it before. And, took us in. This is one of the times I thought I was going to die. I thought, this is it. This is it. I'm gone forever now. He's going to rape us, he's kidnapped us. Now he's going to rape us and kill us. I didn't think I was ever getting out of that house. And so, my neighborhood was creepy, but his name was Mr. Island, was the one with the pool. Funny, huh? And he would stand in his front windows. This is a regular neighborhood in Dallas, Texas. He would stand in his window with no clothes on. He had to always be exposing himself. It's like, why? Why do you need someone to see your dick, dude? Why? Like, it's weird. Like, I don't feel like I need to show anyone my part. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But it's, it happens, these people. But, there's so much, like, this world gave people a place to come in and play these parts, that are, disturbing. There's so much disturbing stuff that goes on here. And souls come in to play the part. But it's like a play. They just come in to play a part. It isn't real. Nothing that happens here is real. It's just playing a part so that you can expand your consciousness, so you can understand more about yourself, but also it releases judgment. When you can sit here and think, oh, this guy's just the worst, he's horrible. When you come in and play the part and you play something similar, and then you see what happens and how they become them, see, it takes away the judgment. So you see things from a more clear perspective, not a judgmental perspective. And that's how we keep raising our vibration and expanding, is we take away our judgment and we focus on our own healing. There was a lot of stuff too in that show that was about, empowerment and healing and stuff. It was really, really good. Really, really good show. And I don't get why, probably because it could help people heal. So then they're like, fuck that. This is not what we want. We want sex and drugs and, people to feel bad about themselves. Like, every fucking commercial, while I was watching it, would come on. It was fucking Dexter. And it always, oh my God, has this song that I love. And then, you get to watch Dexter, he's just losing his mind, killing people. But he's a good guy. It just, the programming, and now I've had more people, oh, Fresh. Yeah, Fresh is getting a lot of attention. I wonder how many people is sinking in, like, oh, they want me to accept this now. They want me to accept all of these disturbing things that I find disturbing, but they want me to think it's okay because we're in their world and that's what they do. And my mom yesterday, she's like, I can't even watch the news. She'll do this, like, she'll be watching it in an hour, but she'll be like, I can't even watch it. I'm just watching HGTV. She loves HGTV. And for somehow she started watching Cops. I'm not sure if Cops is on HGTV now. Who knows? I don't know. But so she said, 95% of the criminals are black, and the other 5% are like toothless trailer trash. And I guess I'm judgmental or something. And I was like, no, you're just observing, because what's real is that they isolate and segregate and make it so the people can't even get out of their neighborhood without committing crimes. They give them the drugs to sell so that, oh, you want to make some money? Well, here you go. Sell the drugs. And, they put them in the position that they want them to be. The slave masters are still the same people. They are still keeping these people oppressed. It's all about this oppression so that they can't get ahead, keep them depressed and keep them sad. I don't even think that I mean, a lot of those people, they don't give them insurance. They don't give them jobs that they can have insurance. You know, they get state insurance. State insurance doesn't do jack shit. And they probably have a lot of loopholes to even keep them out of that, because they would rather them do the crack on the streets than do the pharmaceuticals. The pharmaceuticals are pushed a lot more on the suburban housewife, the kids growing up with the mom that's been gone working. And, you know, I mean, I could go into so many different stories about that, you know, because how many moms are single moms? How many dads are having second, third families, and the moms can't even freaking date because it sends everything into utter turmoil. I can't even tell you how many women I know of who, you know, got divorced after years and years of struggle and feeling repressed in their own marriage. And then, you know, the husband cheats, or because, you know, their ego is very flammable. And then they cheat or just are not present or angry, and then leave. They just go start another family, you know, another distraction. Why would they need to heal? What? Men don't heal. And then the women, you know, they're struggling, they just want a partner. You know, women wouldn't go. I mean, you have some women who have become desperate enough that they will go have a baby by themselves. Like, you know, relationships just keep burning and they haven't gotten pregnant and they're just finally to the point like, I want to have my own family. And, you know, they have their one kid and maybe, you know, everything goes fine and smooth. But a lot of people who start families, they started it because they thought they were a team. They thought they weren't doing it by themselves. So it becomes hard for a single mom. You know, they're alone and they want to have somebody there to listen to them bitch and whine. And, you know, it's just another thing in our society that's gotten way out of balance, you know, and that is, you know, part of what we have to corral in some of this toxic shit so that we can get rid of it. You know, we can pull it in and look at it and go, oh man, how do we go about changing this? You know, we got to stop starting families we got to start starting families for the right reasons. People have just always been doing things for the wrong reasons. They've all been misled, and it's all been a part of the system. So, you know, once we start really knowing how important it is to heal and to be our best selves, our best version of ourselves, before we go out and start looking for a partner, before we start thinking about having kids, you know, there should be a process to it, not just like things happening. Oh, this happened. Oh, I got pregnant. Now I'm married. Now, you know, we got to get into where we're doing things with intention, you know, and when you are doing it with intention, you are obviously manifesting, but you have to know what you're manifesting, where you're headed. And there were some really good points too, more points about the manifesting in this show too, because it is so much about like one guy was like, well, you manifested your success, you just didn't know what it was going to be. And that's true. I mean, you're bringing in new problems. You wanted this one bit, but you didn't know it came with 10 other bits that you didn't want. So, you know, you got to be clear of what you're heading for, what it is you really want. And that's why when I talk about manifesting, you got to really think about what it is you really want, you know, and then you know you have value, you know you're worth it, so you head towards that. And, you know, that's why these people, oh, I want $1 million. And then, you know, you see someone get $1 million and they go buy 5 fur coats and burn money and just waste it. Like, so you just wanted to get some money to waste? Is that what you're manifesting? Just another outlet for your, you know, for you to distract yourself, to end up feeling like a failure, to end up being mad at yourself about something, you know? So when you're manifesting, it is all about knowing, like, you know, I really want to have a certain lifestyle. I want security. I want to have a job that gives me meaning, that makes me feel good about myself. I want to help people. I want to provide a service. Whatever it is, you head towards that and feel success in your bones. Be like, I want this and I'm going to have it. And it is another thing too, because it's not just about, because this is where people get messed up. They think they're following their heart's desires, but they're following their head's desires. And that's why it's super important for you to get in alignment and get in balance so that you are clear on what it is you're really following. Because if you're following the wrong thing, it's just going to, keep knocking you down and knocking you down and knocking you down to get you off that path. So you go in the direction that you're meant to go. And it's always going to happen the way it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen. So however you're on that path, then when you leave that path and realize that you are supposed to be on that path, it was always going to happen that way. You're not ever doing anything wrong. It's where people just get so messed up. Like they think they're doing something wrong all the time. They think they have control over things. No, you're not doing anything wrong ever. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing all the time. Even if it seems like the most ridiculous thing, you were always supposed to be doing that. You were always going to do that because it's a script. You have no choice. It is always going to happen the way it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. So, and this is all about learning your self-worth, learning what you have control over. You have control over how you feel about yourself. And that's about it. I mean, you don't have control over others. You don't have control over time. You don't have control over what's happening. We don't have control what's happening in the world. We have control over our outlook. We have control over how we feel about ourselves. Most people are giving that away to other people. They're empowering others by saying, here, show me who I am. Tell me who I am. Pull that power back to self. And you define who you are. You figure out who you are. Make your way in the world. Get in touch from, work out what you got going in here. Because, you've got stuff spinning out. I know so many people right now are just, spinning out. People are just getting bombarded with things to heal. And that is because it's the energy. You can't get away from a cosmic cycle. It's going to happen. You're going to have things come up. There's going to be stuff you have to face because we are changing into a new age. So this stuff has to come up and people are being bombarded. And just remember, work stuff out. Don't get stuck. I mean, people, like, I have one daughter, she's going through, I have 4 daughters, but one of them's really going through some stuff. Well, more than one, but this one in particular that I was talking to, she's really going through some stuff. And, I'm saying this stuff is bringing up the real issue. The real issue is not what's happening. What's happening is the trigger. So that brings up the stuff. And she's like, I don't want to worry about this stuff right now. I want to feel my pain. And it's like, okay, then you got to do what you are supposed to do. Follow your own guidance. Don't listen to what I say. Follow your guidance. Just don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in your pain. Don't let it become, the pool that you like to lay in. You've got to move out of it. Once you've dug up everything, you brought the muck up to the top, it's time to move on. Don't just sit there, going over and over and over it. I mean, give yourself the time to feel it, your pain, and release it. Then go deeper so that you can figure out, like, why? Why did I do this? Why would I feel this way? Because it all comes back to low self-esteem, not feeling good about yourself, giving away your power, and being angry at yourself. So all of those things that are going on right now, work them out. And then you just keep pulling it down to your heart. Pull it down to your heart space, because that's where you're going to find your true self. That is where your soul is, there's no room up here. This has got a lot of stuff going on. And don't forget, it is also a receiver. And if you are, in a low mood, you're going to be receiving a lot of low, like daggers or whatever, daggers being thrown at you. It's going to feel like you're just getting beat down. And, it's important to just keep healing and raising yourself back up and raising yourself back up. And it seems like a lot, but, it's the endurance. It's the resilience. It's the, the fight that we have inside is what shows us who we are. And you will come out the other side and you will see, I'm not a weak little bitch that doesn't deserve love. I'm a strong fucking warrior. And I make my life what I want it to be. And that's where we all got to get. And that is when, you know, the Jubilee, because then you know your value. You don't need to go out and spend money to show your value. You have value inside of you. And that is what we all need. That is the currency that we all need to be desiring. That's the real currency, is us. So, you know, all we can keep doing, all I can keep saying is, you know, I've gone through it. I've done this stuff. I wouldn't be telling other people to do it if I hadn't done it myself, if I hadn't already walked the path and found the light on the other side. And it's all I can do is just keep telling you the light is on the other side. The light is there. You know, you just got to get through the dark, but you will get there. And you will be proud of yourself when you do. Oh, that makes me get really emotional. But it's true. And everybody, it's everybody's opportunity right now. You know, the world is giving you a beautiful gift to heal yourself and to, you know, lick your wounds, cleanse yourself so that you can see how great you really are. Because we're all great, we're all unique. And, you know, you just got to find you in all of this mess. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.